Don't get up yet. Thank you to the United States Marine Corps Color Guard and Alan Palacios Chan for the presentation of the colors and the national anthem. What a beautiful rendition that was. Hi, everyone. I'd like to welcome all of you as we gather for this momentous 30th anniversary gala celebration. I'm Eun Yang, anchor at NBC4. Oh, thank you. Thank you. What a big audience. This is amazing. It is so wonderful to be surrounded by so much Asian excellence in one room. It just warms my heart and makes me so proud, and you all look absolutely fantastic tonight. Now, if you are able, please rise, and as we welcome to the stage Dr. Kamana Opono, M. Crab, to bestow the Hawaiian blessing.
Huli mai anana I hola makahonua I koko mau pula pule aina nei. Ia mako e na hoa makamaka o te au. Pale aku pale mai ki ala imua. Ho o kapu I ke ia kahua. Mai ke ia ku ono ai ke la ku ono mai ke la pōkihi a ke ia pōkihi. Mai ke kaupoko ai kahi pai a mako e awa mo ke kuli ana ia ka no ki a ku ai. Kuli ia mai a kaina wawai a mauhoa pai o. I ke kia ia na kabana o ino I kanana ana I ka uhane ino ka poe he alama he nana pono I ka hana nui hana iki o kanaka ku pono ku mai na po mai ka ike ka auloa ka vivole. E ho mai ka mana ia ka leo he a kui ka pō mai ka I nā hoa kupa ai no iwi. Nā maui a ka ma o na honua pi I lani. Ma laila ka aina hone ana o la haina. Ke olo aku ia lako a pau. Eli noa. Ha mama. Ua noa. Lele vali aku lai ka pule.
Thank you, Dr. Crab, for delivering the Hawaiian blessing for us this evening. I had a chance to talk to Dr. Crab backstage, and the beautiful lei he is wearing is specially made just for him. It's a feather lei to mark a special occasion, and for royalty and for the blessing he's given us today, he certainly deserves to wear that. The first time he said he's worn it for a special occasion. So just last night at our Congressional Alumni Appreciation Dinner, we introduced 2 new awards and acknowledged 4 outstanding individuals. This year's Alumni Horizons Award recipient, Kota Mizutani. Our first new award is the Ignite Award. It's for an AIPAC's congressional intern who exemplifies the AIPAC's values and the ideals of Secretary Norman Y. Mineta. The inaugural recipient is Dr. Raya Nathrani. And this year's Trailblazer Award recipient is Manpreet Teji. And our second new award is very special. Helen Ruggiero was a beloved longtime APEC staffer and friend to many. Yes, we can applaud for Helen. And the Helen Ruggiero Award is given in her honor to an individual outside the AA-NHPI community who has consistently supported our community. And this year's awardee epitomizes the spirit of this award. During her years as Chief of Staff to former Congressman Mike Honda, she ably guided her boss during his tenure as chairman of KPAC, making sure that the community had a voice and that the concerns of the community were heard. The inaugural Helen Ruggiero Award recipient is Jennifer Vanderhyde. All right, let's give another huge round of applause to all our awardees this evening. So each year, APACS places fellows in congressional offices and committees. So we want to direct your attention to the screens right now as we acknowledge this year's APACS Congressional Fellows. And please hold your applause until the end after I read all the names. Rowan Abari, Mia Ayer, Annette Burrell, Alicia Chen, Jacqueline Chen, I love the enthusiasm, Robin Chung, Annalise Herr, Esther Kim, Tiffany Kim, Susie Nee, Maham Shahab, Kelly Sunebe, and Justin Yamamura. A big round of applause for all the fellows. Thank you so much for your hard work. All right, now I'd like to turn your attention to the screens for a video showcasing APEC's history from 1994 until today, celebrating 30 years of our community, our leaders, and our legacy.
Our legacy began 30 years ago with a bold idea with an eye to the future.
It's a platform to finally make the full story of the Asian Pacific American communities known both here in Washington, D.C., as well as throughout the country.
Norm and KPAC also created the Asian Pacific American Institute for Congressional Studies to develop some training for people to become elected officials.
Apex, he saw as a vehicle through which we could generate leadership on a national level by going down to the grassroots and community level. We were going to reach out, bring young people in, learn leadership here at a national level, go back home, become leaders themselves.
And when he created it, he meant for it to be a force to engage Asian American and Pacific Islanders in public policy. There wasn't a lot of framework or infrastructure to support our community. How can we bring people that speak 50 different languages, who come from different ethnicities? We understood that this was not going to be easy. We understood that this was blazing a trail, but it had to be done. APACS had to succeed in order for us to show the way.
Today, we have more AA and NHPI leaders active at all levels of government than ever before. And we have made great strides in our mission to inspire and empower the next generation of AA and NHPI public servants and celebrated pioneering milestones.
As a result of not having a voice at the table, we have seen really ugly laws passed in our nation's history. So it is so critical that we fight to ensure that our voices are heard at the highest levels and to ensure that we have representation.
And APACS is the leader in programming dedicated to developing AA and NHPI participation at all levels of the political process and is a critical voice for representation and diversity across government and the private sector. And after 30 years, we are just getting started.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. You don't want to miss the next portion of the program. I now want to welcome to the stage, representing the 28th Congressional District of California, the chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, Congresswoman Chu.
Good evening, and happy Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. As chair of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus, or CAPAC, I'm so excited to be celebrating APAC's 30th anniversary this year at tonight's awards gala, or as it's better known, the Asian Prom. And I'm so thrilled that we are celebrating this enormous milestone with tonight's keynote speaker, who, from day one of this administration, has prioritized equity, inclusion, and representation from the AA-NHPI community. President Biden has issued directives to advance racial justice and build equity into the work of all federal agencies in an unprecedented fashion. To address the pandemic-related surge of anti-Asian hate, he signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law, the first advancement in hate crime legislation in 30 years. And to address the root cause of anti-Asian hate, he signed into law a bill that we're all so excited about, and that is the bill to create the National Smithsonian Museum of Asian Pacific American History and Culture. Yes, this is our first step to teach the public that AA-NHPI history is American history. Now, last year, tragedy hit my hometown of Monterey Park, California, when a mass shooting occurred and a gunman killed 11 Americans who were all Asian immigrants. I was with President Biden as he came and personally consoled each of the victims' families and the wounded. I witnessed his enormous empathy and how he helped them to heal. I was there as he raised his voice for an assault weapons ban and announced executive actions to prevent this type of gun violence from continuing to target our communities. And I will never forget the profound respect he showed to our community. And I've seen him show us respect in so many other ways, from his support for AA-NHPI small businesses, to his historic investments in our higher education and appeasees, to his expansion of culturally inclusive health care for our communities. President Biden has been there for us. And President Biden really sees us. Under the previous administration, when the data was first announced for COVID-19 hospital deaths, the death rates for Blacks, whites, and Hispanics were presented, but we were shocked to see that we, AA-NHPIs, were lumped into other. Even in the midst of the global pandemic, we were otherized. But President Biden not only sees us, he did something that we'd been advocating for nearly 30 years. His administration updated federal standards on race and ethnicity, ensuring that every federal agency will disaggregate AA-NHPI data in their collection and reporting. Yes, every AA-NHPI ethnic group will be seen and heard because of this. Thank you, President Biden. So as I introduce tonight's keynote speaker, I want to thank him for all that he's done for our communities across the country. And I hope you will all join me. Please stand in welcoming our fearless leader, President Joe Biden.
Hello, hello, hello. Whoa, what a crowd. Please have a seat if you have one. Well, thank you, Judy Chu, for that introduction and for your leadership of the Congressional Asian Pacific American Caucus. By the way, I was raised early on by a guy who became my sort of sponsor when I got here as a 30-year-old kid, Danny Inouye. And Norm Mineta was a close friend as well, so I got trained early on. Thank you, leaders of the House Democratic Caucus, and Leader Jeffries, you're here somewhere, I'm told. I can't see you, but I know you're here. And Whip Clark, Chair Aguilar, and all the members of Congress here tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you also to the Asian Pacific American Institute of Congressional Studies for 30 years of empowering AA and AIP leaders all across the government. And let me say, I have kept our commitment to having an administration that looks like America. I made that commitment when I got elected. While members of the AA-NHPI community at every level, led by the incredible Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, and so many here today, including my cabinet, U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai, Acting Labor Secretary Julie Su, Director of my Office of Science and Technology. Where's already? Where is she? Stand up, kid. I like that dress. Let them see your gown. And thanks to all of you, leaders of labor, business, philanthropy, civil rights, arts, culture, and so much more. All of you, and I mean all of you, represent a simple truth. There is no singular Asian American, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander identity. The diversity of cultures and breadth of your achievements that has shaped and strengthened the fabric of our country. The fastest growing demographic in the United States you represent, how we're a nation of immigrants, a nation of dreamers, a nation of freedom. That's the America we share. That's the America we know. And you've made incredible progress. 15 million new jobs recorded. Historic low levels of unemployment, record small business creation. In fact, loans from our Small Business Administration, AA-NHPI, small business is up by 44% compared to the previous administration. Because we extended the child care tax credit during the pandemic, which not one Republican voted for, I might add, we cut Asian American child poverty by nearly 25% to a record low. The lowest cost across the board, we finally beat Big Pharma and gave Medicare the power to negotiate prescription drug prices. We also capped insulin at $35 a month, down from around $400 a month for seniors in Medicare, including for millions in this community. Our reforms not only save lives, guess what? They save the taxpayers $160 billion. $160 because Medicare no longer has to pay those exorbitant prices. We're also making college more affordable by relieving student debt for millions of borrowers, including many in this community. That's worth clapping for, I promise you. How we can be the leader of the world having the best education in the world, I don't understand. We increased Pell Grants by $800 a year, the largest increase in a decade, which matters to 40% of the AA and NHPI students. They rely on Pell Grants. Folks, when I was growing up, $800 makes a lot of difference to a family. More people have health insurance today than ever before. And I'm proud that my administration announced DACA recipients will finally have access to health care through the Affordable Care Act. And by the way, the first bill I introduced is the most comprehensive immigration reform bill in decades. It includes a pathway to citizenship for dreamers and expands the number of green cards so many more families can build their American dream together. Unfortunately, those provisions are not included in the recent bipartisan border bill. That was the first bill I ever introduced when I became president. But this bill had that bipartisan bill has majority support in the House and Senate. But I was told that other guy, that loser, I think he's having trouble. Trump called Republicans to block that Senate bill, got on the phone and said it'd be a win for Biden and a loser for him. So they have to make sure you don't allow it to get to a vote. But he's wrong. Republicans in Congress must act because it's the right thing to do and America needs it done. Thanks to the decades of advocacy by so many of you, I'm proud our administration recently announced major changes in how federal government collects and reports federal data on race and ethnicity. By disaggregating data on a community that's so diverse, we can better serve the entire community. After all, if our government doesn't really see the difference between Korean Americans distinctly from Filipino Americans, how in the hell can they address the needs of each community? And we've changed that. It's disaggregation. We're also making historic investments to rebuild our roads and our bridges and to lead the world in science and innovation. That includes the most significant investment ever, anywhere in the history of the world on climate. I'm so proud, with your help, that the new report, co-released by 20 major climate organizations from the Sierra Club to the Sunrise Movement, credited our administration with taking 300 actions related to climate, conservation, public health, and clean energy. I signed the most significant gun safety law in nearly 30 years, which I know matters to the community that I mourn with. And I remember in Atlanta, Half Moon Bay, and Monterey Park, this guy said when the last shooting occurred, he said, he asked him about it, he said, just get over it. Get over it. Anyway, I'll be good. Together we'll not stop until we ban assault weapons again, this time permanently. I can go on, but I'm between you and your dinner. The point is we're lowering costs, we're expanding opportunities with your help, we're protecting freedoms. That's in stark contrast to my predecessor's view of you. Look, I'll never forget him lying about the pandemic, telling Americans to inject bleach into their skin. I wonder if he did it. Might explain some things. Anyway. We'll never forget the rise in anti-Asian hate crimes during the pandemic. And I was proud to have signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act with your support to help states, cities, and better report, respond, prevent crime. We also provided historic levels of funding to public safety in local communities that is delivering results. We're seeing a near 50-year low in violent crime in America. According to the Justice Department, hate crimes targeting Asian Americans fell by 33% from 2021 to 2022. But there's still more to do so that every community feels safe. When Trump was in office, he enacted a $2 trillion tax cut, overwhelmingly benefited the very wealthiest among us and the biggest corporations, that exploded the federal deficit. His administration added more to the federal debt than any previous presidential term. And now he and the Congressional Republicans want to do it all over again. At the same time, they want to, I love this word, terminate. I love the way these guys talk. Terminate the Affordable Care Act, which would terminate a lot of lives, denying millions of you and your families in health care insurance, denying protections for pre-existing conditions for literally several million people. They want to undo what they finally got done. And then what we finally got done is to make up for it. They want to give power back to Big Pharma to charge exorbitant prices and prescription drugs. This is what they're saying in the platform. Those of you in the Congress know this. My predecessor wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. He said there's a lot of reasons you can do it in terms of cutting. Not on my watch. He brags about getting Roe v. Wade overturned. But Kamala, I'm going to keep fighting to restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again. And while we fight for comprehensive immigration reform, Trump continues to vilify immigrants. I can't believe the way this guy talks. He talks about immigrants as rapists and murderers. His words, not mine. He said they are not people. They are not people. He says immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country. Folks, that's not who we are. Diversity is our strength as a nation. It always has been and always will be. And my predecessors' prejudices lead him to obscure positions. And they want a country for all of us. That's what we want. Let me close with this. 2 years ago, I signed a landmark law to pave the way for the creation of a National Museum of Asian Americans, which is mentioned already. Native Americans, Pacific Islanders, history and culture. So very proud to do so because it amplifies why we are a great nation. It matters. But Trump and his friends want to erase history, not make history. Together we make history, all of us in this room. And that's why I see all of you and we celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month, including my dear friend we all miss and his family's here tonight, Norm Mineta, who helped create this caucus. Norm once said, democracy is not a spectator sport. It requires everyone's active participation. You don't have to be running for office to be in public service, end of quote. Folks, there have always been competing values and visions of what America should be. My predecessor believes we're a country of revenge and retribution. I believe we're a nation of hope and opportunity for everybody. We're a country of honesty, decency, faith, fairness. That's the future we're building together. I see a future where we defend democracy, not diminish it. I see a future where we protect freedoms, not take them away. I see a future where the middle class finally has a fair shot and the wealthy finally begin to pay their fair share so we can provide child care, paid leave, and so much more, and still reduce the federal deficit. Folks, I see a future where we save the planet from the climate crisis and our country from gun violence. Above all, I see a future for all Americans. I see a country for all Americans. And it's because of you, and I mean this sincerely, I've never been more optimistic. We just have to remember who in the hell we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity when we work together. So let's keep working together because we get so much done. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President, for joining us this evening and celebrating our community. Now I'd like to introduce to the stage, representing the 6th District of New York and the first Vice Chair of KPAC, Congresswoman Grace Meng.
I hear New York in the back. Hi, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng from Queens, New York. I am thrilled to be here with all of you tonight as we celebrate our Heritage Month and the 30-year anniversary of the founding of KPAC and APEX. Tonight's celebration is a testament to the growth and potential of our communities. I'm so excited to help introduce our next speaker of the evening, House Democratic Leader Hakeem Jeffries. I have known Leader Jeffries for over 15 years when we first served in the New York State Legislature together, and we came to Congress at the same time, and we are so proud of his accomplishments. Leader Jeffries is not only a brilliant colleague and effective leader of our Democratic caucus, he is also a true friend to our community. He is relatable as an Asian American. He fulfills many Asian stereotypes. He got good grades. He's a respectful family man, has been an excellent son to his parents. He's a strict dad, and he even likes kimchi jjigae. He has shown time and time again to me, our colleagues, and the communities that we represent that he believes in true and authentic allyship. When he was caucus chair, at the beginning of the rise in anti-Asian hate, he convened our various caucuses in Congress as we stood together and jointly condemned discrimination and violence against Asian Americans. He believes in the strength and beauty of diversity and change, and that's what makes him an outstanding leader. As Democratic leader, one of his first and earliest actions was to help convene leaders in our community from around the nation to see how he could support more Asian Americans getting elected to Congress. Clap for our candidates this year, please. We are so grateful, so thankful that he is with us again tonight at our Asian prom. Please welcome to the stage our friend and the next Speaker of the House of the Representatives, Hakeem Jeffries.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Happy AANHPI Heritage Month. Let me first just thank Grace Meng for her incredible, generous words of introduction, for her friendship, for her partnership, and her incredible leadership as one of the most dynamic members of Congress this side of heaven. Thank you, Grace Meng. And of course, to Judy Chu, our fearless leader, we're so thankful for her tremendous leadership of KPAC, and I salute her on the incredible honor that she will receive today. So well earned and so well deserved. Of course, to Ted Lieu, the Vice Chair, the House Democratic Caucus, the highest ranking Asian American in the history of the United States Congress. And of course, to all of the KPAC members, to APEX, to everyone who is here today. It's such a high honor and a distinct privilege to celebrate with you on this 30th anniversary, to celebrate 30 years of significant leadership, 30 years of substantive leadership, 30 years of strong leadership, 30 years of serious leadership, and 30 years of stupendous leadership on behalf of the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander community. Now, here in America, our diversity is a strength. It's a competitive strength. It's an economic strength. It's a social and cultural strength. It is not a weakness. Our diversity is a strength. We are indeed a nation of immigrants. some voluntary and others involuntary. But as John Lewis would often remind us on the floor of the House of Representatives, we may have come over on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. We are a gorgeous mosaic of people from all across the world, and central to that is this community. Central to our future is this community. And together, I'm confident that our future can be brighter than our past. However, we know we have challenges that we have to deal with. The dramatic rise in anti-Asian hate over the last several years should shock the conscience of every decent American. Combating anti-Asian hatred should not be a partisan issue. It's not a Democratic issue. It's not a Republican issue. Combating anti-Asian hatred is an American issue, and together we must crush it with the fierce urgency of now. And that's exactly what we can do. Lastly, let me just make the observation. We're so thankful for the leadership of President Biden as we approach this critically important election. Everything we care about is on the ballot. If Roe v. Wade can fall, then anything can fall. Social Security can fall. Medicare can fall. Voting rights can fall. Democracy itself can fall. If Roe v. Wade can fall, then anything can fall. And so it's an all-hands-on-deck moment. But the resiliency, the brilliance, the hard work, the dedication of this community convince me that we can get through this moment together. And our promise to you as House Democrats is that together we will continue to put people over politics. Together we will make sure that we build an inclusive economy, a healthy economy from the middle out and the bottom up. And together we will protect everything that we hold dear. Together we will protect Social Security, protect Medicare, protect Medicaid, protect the Affordable Care Act, protect working families, protect the middle class, protect our children, protect our seniors, protect our veterans, protect our dreamers, protect immigrant communities, protect our climate, protect our democracy, protect our voting rights, and always protect a woman's freedom to make her own reproductive health care decisions. Together, we will protect our union, and as long as we continue to show up and stand up and speak up together, we're going to win back control of the United States House of Representatives and continue America's march toward a more perfect union. God bless you, and happy anniversary.